a junior, and I am a biomedical science major.
So how did you decide to go to Texas A&M rather than, UT Austin, for example?
Um, Upon like actually going to the campus and viewing it, I found it a lot more welcoming and inviting than some of the other schools I went to. I never really had like a set school in mind, so when I went to A&M, they just kind of blew me away with how they, run their stuff. So that was kind of my decision with that one.
Okay. So backtracking to like the college application days, what would you say is the hardest part about college application?
I think it's like getting everything done in time, like while in school. So it's kind of like balancing, your actual activities while in high school with going home and having time to like sit down and write your essays and do all that kind of stuff. I know for me, I did like early action for most of the colleges that I applied for. So then that was like, I think it was like a November due date. So it was just super stressful of like getting everything in on time and writing an essay that I was like proud of. So that was the hard part.
It's nice. Yeah, I don't know how you did early action. I barely had my life together by like October. No, I don't think I had anything then. So I know A&M has like a lot of traditions, like the ring ceremony, I guess. What will be your favorite tradition from A&M?
Well, since I'm just going to be a junior, some of like the bigger traditions are like as you're an upperclassman. But from my experience as an underclassman, I believe I enjoyed football games and midnight yell,
Mm,
which is kind of like it's like the day before a football game and you go to the stadium and we do like all the I don't know how to explain it when you're not like an Aggie, but we have like our yell leaders, and so they lead yells the night before a game. So you're able to go and kind of have that experience. And I thought it was really awesome because I mean, a lot of schools don't have like something coordinated like that.
mm,
Um, and I also enjoyed Bonfire Memorial, which is I don't exactly remember how many years ago. I'm not like the best at A&M history, but about maybe 30 years ago or so, we had like bonfires for every big game. And one year it collapsed. And so it killed, I think, about 11 or 12 students.
oh,
And so every year at that time, on that day, we have like a memorial service for them. And we have this like memorial section on campus. And so I don't think it's like for everyone to go like, every year. It's kind of very emotional and it's like at 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning. So, not everybody can make it all the time, but I definitely would recommend going once because it's very powerful and saddening, I guess.
yeah, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have any, maybe some memorial things. I'm not sure, but we have something called like the night before Halloween. Oh, not the night before, like, but at like 12 midnight, we would go to this like cemetery. It's like a Jesuit cemetery, and we just like howl or something. It's really weird, but we don't do it before every game because I'm not gonna lie, our football team sucks. Like, they're terrible. They're like the worst football team ever. I'm like, they're not that bad, but like it's so surprising when they win a game. We're like, good for you. But apparently this year they were better. But our football team not well celebrated, unfortunately. Okay. So what is your major about in a nutshell? Like from your experience, how would you define biomedical sciences?
I would say it's like one of those majors geared towards like a future career. So it's one of those majors like if you're going to go to a med school, PA school, maybe a pharmacy school, any kind of profession in like a science with like medicine and that kind of stuff, I would say it's a very good major for that because it kind of lets you cover all of your bases. It kind of forces you to do your bios, your chems, your gen chem, o chem, your math, like all the stuff you would need to be a doctor, to be, you know, your PA. It allows you to have those classes knocked out within the major. It also gives you some space for like courses that you might need for your professional school that might not be in the curriculum. It allows you room to do so. Which has some majors, like they might force you to do their specific courses. So it makes it kind of difficult because you're like, well, I need physics, but I have no room for physics, or I need, you know, psych and what do you call it, sociology, and I have no room for it. So it's one of those courses that like it forces you to take your sciences, but it gives you some room to take the electives that you might need for other stuff. So
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I was switching between majors and like switching between minors, and now I have like a bunch of credits. However, I need to take like at least 20 credits every semester until graduation for me to like fulfill my major requirements. I'm like so mad at myself for wanting to explore, but like I'm also not mad because I hate the feeling of like what if I did this instead, you know? I don't want to like regret anything. Now that I have tried computer science and I know it's for me, I won't like just, you know, reminisce on like, oh, what if I was like a pretty good computer scientist or something. No, no. I suck at computer science. That was a phase. It's now over. I use like whatever knowledge I have to like make that website, but that's about it. So I was like, oh, okay, I use the skills. We're good. But yeah. So what classes have you enjoyed the most? Like in your major, or even if it's just like elective or requirements that you have to do?
okay, so within my major, I think my favorite was not biomedical science, oh my goodness, biology too, because my professor was like amazing. He just was funny and he was really engaging. He was like an afternoon class, so it was like 2 to 3 or something like that. And so sometimes they can be super boring, but he made them really enjoyable, and like we had a good time there, you know, just cracking jokes about stuff we're supposed to learn, but it made it like super engaging. Oh, and I took a history of rock course. So it was like a class where we looked over different kinds of music and how it correlated to like rock and roll over the years.
History of rock. I thought you meant like rocks. As in-
No, like rock and roll. And I
okay.
really enjoyed it. It was just like a random, like, what do you call it? Just like a fun class. I don't know. Um, it was a good time listening to music every morning at 9:30. It was a blast.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I took like an intro to ethics. I mean, it was like a requirement for Georgetown, but I actually surprisingly really enjoyed that class, even though it had nothing to do with my major. Like learning about like, I don't know, moral theories for some reason was really fun for me. I don't know. I think it depends on the professors, obviously. But biology too, isn't that like ecology and evolution and all of that?
Yeah, it's like evolution and then like pathology, or like I guess the intro to pathology stuff. So
I absolutely hated bio too. Absolutely hate it. I did not see, I just like, I was like, ecology, not for me. Our professor was in love with plants. She was like, I think for her, like, most common phrase is like, plants are better than humans. I'm not gonna lie, she says that like all of the time. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You hate us. But it's like, I absolutely hated that class. But kudos for you for actually liking ecology. Cannot be me. So what made you choose this major? I know it's just, is it just because of you know, your future career aspirations, or was it just a really attractive major to you?
well, I originally went in as a biochemistry major, so it was kind of me like switching majors. So I can like relate to kind of what you were saying about like the credits and like all the, you know, headache that comes from switching majors sometimes. And it was kind of like, what major can I get in that has the credits that I already have, that it'll fit in my schedule, that like still meets what like I'm trying to do, like my future career. So it was hard. I mean, I kind of thought about psych and I thought about, you know, other careers you can do that's, or not careers, majors you can do that maybe isn't exactly what I want to do in the future, but it was interesting to me. So it was hard. I just kind of was like, you know, this fits what I'm trying to go for, so I'll pick that.
Yeah, I feel. Um, So what are some like clubs or extracurriculars that you're doing? Maybe like a job on the side or research? What are some things that you're doing currently? Well, not in the summer because everything's canceled. But what were
True.
you doing?
Well, when I got to college, I didn't exactly, jump on anything really fast. I didn't look for anything. I would say like if I could go back in time, I would have been like, you know what, maybe you should join something right now so that you can have something to do. Because I think time management and like having time for fun and that kind of stuff is really hard.
Mm,
But I joined like how do I describe it? I guess like a fellowship club group
mm,
within my school of like kids that go to A&M, but are also like going to church, like a specific church. So kind of like a Bible study group kind of thing. I joined two of those. Um, I don't know what to say about that. I guess just like it helped me meet people and people that are kind of the same religion, same kind of mindset as you. Um, and the fact that we all go to college, we can all kind of relate about the struggles of
oh, yeah.
school and stress. And so I found it really enjoyable because it gave me an outlet to make friends, but also be able to discuss like different just life struggles that everybody experiences in college.
Exactly. Yeah, I never thought I would be at all in anything religious in college, but surprisingly, like I also joined something close to that. And like that's where I, met a lot of my friends and it's like really helpful, honestly. Like I thought I would be like fall from my religion, but my like, being Catholic has always been like a huge part of my life. So I didn't necessarily want to lose that. So I like joined like this like music group where I like play during mass and stuff. So it's like exactly what I do. I like at home, Monica's. So that was really nice. I like felt a little at home. So I'm glad you're doing that. Um, what is your career aspiration? I think I know you said physician assistant. Is that
Mhm. Um, well, like my dream would be to be a doctor, but in college, I feel like you experience things that make you kind of like, okay, what's my backup? What's my, my third plan, that kind of stuff. So I would say first would be to be a doctor, to go to med school, and then if that doesn't pan out for some reason, to be a PA and to do something along those lines or research. I don't know,
just
something like that.
yeah, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, for me,
sometimes
I also feel the same way. Like doctor for sure, but if things don't work out, PA is not a bad option.
I think it's good to have like backups so that you're not like, firmly rooted and being a doctor, go to med school, and then if that doesn't happen, have no backup plan. So it's always good to think about it, I guess.
Are you thinking of taking like a gap year before you apply to med school or like just right away to med school?
I think I would try right away. And if for some reason it doesn't pan out, I think I might try a second time.
Mm.
And then I think after two times, I don't know. Um, I think it depends where I am in life and like if I want to try a third time. If not, I might just,
I'm sure
change
you're
path.
good
But
somewhere. Yeah, come on, it's A&M. Got this.
I mean,
Yeah, honestly,
sometimes,
I don't know. We'll see. For me, I would like to go PA route just because I was like maybe later on if I want to go to med school, but at the moment I'm kind of like I don't want to go to school for longer than I have to. And from what I can tell is like PAs do exactly the same thing as doctors, with like
mhm.
exception like a few things. But it's just like I would like to, work as soon as possible and just work with patients as soon as possible. So but I don't know. I guess I'll apply to some med school just in case, I get in and I want to go.
Yeah, I get that. Plus, in the future, if you want to have like time for a family or like to do something else,
Yeah.
being a PA is more flexible than being a doctor, where it's like a full time, 24/7 job.
Way more flexible, way more flexible. Yeah, I was like honestly when I was little, my like dream job, like I think my first job when my mom asked me what I want to be was like I want to be a mom. And then all my family members laughed at me and I was like, okay, I love my mom. So excuse you. So I thought her job was fun.
Okay.
But she was all like, my job is not fun. But anyways, but yeah, I think I've always wanted to have a family. not like super early, but I do want to make time for it. So I think PA would be a better route. But we'll see what happens in 2 years. Maybe I won't even go into medicine. We'll see. That would be surprising. That would be very surprising. Okay. Okay, phone. Come on. Let's see. Everything is just acting up today. I don't know why. Like no technology is working for me. Okay. So what are some challenges you've encountered transitioning from high school to college?
Um, I think it's definitely finding where you fit in and kind of finding your own routine. Um, I think just on the basis of like discovering who you are. Um, Coming from home, like my parents were super involved in my life. Like they were always there for me. They were kind of my like support system, and they're always there to like encourage me to do better, or they're on the sideline supporting me at my games and that kind of stuff. So definitely going into college, like you're on your own. Like your parents are a phone call away. That's true, and like it's the best feeling to be like, mom, like had a really bad day. Let's talk. But at the same time, they're not there with you. They're not experiencing what you're experiencing. You're having to grow up a lot and to be on your own. So it's very much like, where do I fit in here? And even if you come in with friends, it's like they might have their own stuff going on depending on their majors. So it's like, what do I enjoy? What do I want to do? Um, like, how do I want to spend my time? And like meeting new people is probably the hardest. I don't think I made any like seriously good friends until like October, November of my freshman year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I met any real good friends until my sophomore year. I think the hardest part was like finding friends, friend groups that you want to be involved with. Because I
Hmm.
also didn't like jump into like many different clubs just because I didn't feel the need to, and I didn't really find any clubs that like that attractive. And also Georgetown just has like an insane like application for different clubs. I mean, I don't know if it's the same for A&M. Like I was like, it's just getting into these clubs is like very exclusive. It's like getting into a university. It's harder to get in like to these clubs than like to like a college, in my opinion. So it was just like I applied for like one or two clubs and I didn't get in just because I was a freshman. So it's just like finding friends is so hard, especially when like none of my friends from Judson came with me. So that was like terrible. So I FaceTime like my friends at home like as much as I can. But eventually I had to like move on to like find real friends in college. Yeah. So what are some advice do you want to give to like future Aggies or just students in general?
I would say don't be afraid of change.
Mm,
Don't be afraid of like stepping out of your comfort zone, in the sense of like, I know a lot of people, like me for example, I came into college like, this is what I'm going to do. This is the way I'm going to do it. This is the path I'm going to take. This is how I'm going to get there. This is like the grades I'm going to have. Like just super like straightforward focus on like one goal. And I've come to realize that, you can get there anyway. Like one of the doctors that I have personally, she was a Spanish major and she made it to med school. And it just kind of opened my eyes to, wow, like you can get there any way you want to. And like that's just true in like any route you take in life. Like you can get there anyway. Like your way might not be somebody else's way, and their way might not work for you. Like if they go, the hard chemistry route and you go psych and you still get there too, like you're fine, you know? And
mm,
it's okay to change majors, 2 and 3 times to find what like suits you. Like you shouldn't be stuck in like, well, this is what I always wanted to do and this is what I always wanted to be. So like I can only do that way, or I can only do it this way. And I think it's like knowing that no matter what, like you need to be happy in what you're doing. Like if you're miserable
mm,
and you're still, you're making C's, you're miserable, you hate your life, like, which is like not an uncommon feeling as a freshman, or as, even sophomores like me, like coming into junior year,
yeah.
to feel that way. Like, if you're not happy, find what makes you happy, because it doesn't make any sense to be miserable but trying to make good grades. So
Mm.
whatever makes you happy, and it's, the route you want to take. Just because your friend might have it one way doesn't mean that you have to have it the exact same way to get to the exact same place at the end of the road. So I
Exactly.
would.
I think it's really hard to see like a lot of people like being very successful. Like I don't know. I think Judson prepped us okay-ish, but not as much as like some of our friends might be because they're just a little more well off. And like
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to see like people in your class doing like getting A's where you're getting like barely getting a C and you're just like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm studying.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm not just, maybe I just can't do it. But, I mean, I feel like the foundation classes is really hard for anyone to like them. They're just like stuff you need to know before fun stuff happens. So I guess it's really important to just understand, like, don't be discouraged. And also, like, you're right, like, you're gonna get to, where you're at later on anyways. And it doesn't matter what major you pick, to want to go to med school or even law school or something like that. But yeah, thanks for talking to me.